Am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. Warm welcome to the program. This is, in fact, a very important program that would ensure the development of India and the future of our nation. It's on innovation and entrepreneurship. Multiplus Training College warmly welcomes all of you to this program. Special applause and welcome to our resource person, Biju Parameswaran sir. I would like to request all the participants to type your name and address in the chat, and it would be great if you send the poster and the link to your colleagues and students. That's a great humanitarian activity, no doubt about that. By the by, I am Dr. Joju John, Drawing and Dispersing Officer, Mar Theophilos Training College, Nalanjara. Warm welcome, everyone. Over to you, Nina teacher. Thank you. Shall we begin with the prayer?
Good evening, sir. Shall we begin, sir?
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Good evening, all. We are all here today in this online platform to know about the Young Innovators Program 5.0, which deals with innovation and entrepreneurship organized by the Popular Science Club of Mar Theophilus Training College in association with IQAC. I wish to give you an idea on KDISC and YIP. Kerala Development and Innovation Strategic Council, KDISC, is a strategic think tank advisory board of the Government of Kerala, formulating plans reflecting the latest in technology, product, and process innovations for the development of the state. It seeks to address the challenges of providing holistic healthcare, employment, social security, infrastructure, food and nutrition security with a pro-poor bias, gender justice, and inclusion of outliers within severe fiscal constraints. Young Innovators Program is a specially designed program under Kerala Development and Innovation Strategic Council. It's a flagship program as part of the innovation segment that aims to empower future innovators to innovate new products, services, or models to meet emerging requirements, unarticulated needs, or existing market needs of the society more effectively through specially designed challenges. To talk more about YIP program, we have an eminent personality joining with us today, Sri Biju Parameswaran sir, YIP Program Manager, KDISC. Let's begin with the session with a prayer. I welcome Shruti Krishnan.
ഈശ്വരാ കൈകോ നിൽപ്പോ നിൻ മുന്നിൽ ഈറന മിഴലൊട്ടെ കാരുണ്യ ഞാൻ അക്ഷരം തെറ്റാതെ ഉത്തരേ ഗുരുവിനെ ഉണ്മയിൽ സ്നേഹിച്ചും ആദരിച്ചും കൂടെ പഠിക്കുന്ന കുട്ടികളെ തൻ്റെ കൂടെ പിറപ്പുകളായി നിനച്ചും മാതൃഭൂമിക്കായി ജീവൻ വെടിഞ്ഞോരെ മാതൃകയായിട്ടംഗീകരിച്ചും ഈശ്വര കൈകൂപ്പി നിൽപ്പൂ ഞാൻ നിൻ മുന്നിൽ ഈറനണിഞ്ഞ മിഴികളോടെ കാരുണ്യമെന്നിൽ ചൊരിയണേ ഭൂവിലും കാരണനായുള്ള തമ്പുരാനേ.
Thank you, Shruti. I invite Malavika for the welcome address.
Good evening, one and all. Today, the Popular Science Club of Theophilus Training College, in association with IQAC, is organizing a talk on Young Innovators Program 5.0, dealing with innovation and entrepreneurship, opening up new vistas for youth. I'm Malavika. I am very much glad to welcome you all to this session. Today, we have a very talented resource person, Sri Biju Parameswaran sir, who is the YIP manager for KDISC, that is Kerala Development and Innovation Strategic Council. He is graduated in mechanical engineering from Government College of Engineering, Trivandrum, and also has a thorough experience in the IT industry, including 6 years in USA and 2 years in Australia. As a senior project manager for Infosys, he set up their software testing division in Trivandrum. Biju sir manages the Young Innovators program for KDISC and also heads their content and media team. With great pleasure and gratitude, I would like to welcome Biju Parameswaran sir to this session. Nextly, I would like to welcome Nipun sir, who is the coordinator of Trivandrum chapter YIP. Welcome sir to this session. Now, I would like to welcome our respected principal, Dr. Jojo Jones sir, who is the part and parcel of every program in our college. I welcome you, sir, to the session. Nextly, I would like to welcome Dr. Neena Thomas ma'am, who is the teacher coordinator of the Popular Science Club. She is the inspiration for running this club in an active manner. I welcome you, ma'am, to the session. We all know that participants are the soul of every program. So I happily welcome each and everyone to this fruitful session. Thank you.
Thank you, Malavika. Now, I would like to welcome our principal in charge, Dr. Jojo Jones sir, for his introductory words.
Good evening, all. Warm welcome to this program. I'm really delighted that Marthavilas Training College Popular Science Center is organizing an outstanding program to promote innovation and entrepreneurship in our state. I would like to quote Henry Ford. Henry Ford once said, if I asked my colleagues what they wanted, they would have asked me faster horses. They wouldn't have asked for a car because a car was not known to them. They would have just asked for faster horses. Dear friends, a visionary is one who goes beyond the perspective of the people. Now he would go to future. He would make a blind gem. And now, before the commencement of this program, we heard the talk of Steve Jobs. Now, he said, if you want to create, be ridiculous. Be ready to be unpopular. Be ridiculous. Now, as a handful of real gems, youngsters have gathered here in this fine evening to listen to Biju Parameswaran sir, I would like to wish everyone a passion for innovation and creativity. Usually, we want to work for others, but the most beautiful thing is not to work for others, but to be an entrepreneur and provide employment opportunity for others. That is the greatest gift that we can give to the society. Only innovation and entrepreneurship can take India to 2030 dream of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, a dream of a developed India. Now, we have got Biju Parameswaran sir, a very experienced person. He's a friend of me too. We have met in a couple of programs for training programs for resource persons as well. Now, I'm really delighted that Biju sir is here to address youngsters, and we would have plenty of things to take home. More than everything, you are going to be inspired to start new things on your own. Let there be future Zomatos and future Paytms. Good luck and best wishes to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Moving on to the so much awaited session, I welcome our chief guest, Sri Biju Parameswaran sir, for the keynote address.
Biju sir, 1 second. Can some of you please open the video if possible so that we can have a screenshot with our resource person now, if possible. some of you can switch on the video. You can have a couple of screenshots. Over to you, Biju sir. Thank you.
Okay. So good evening, and thank you all for the kind introduction. I'm so happy, so delighted to meet all of you here on this weekend, and especially Dr. Joju. I have known him for several years, like he mentioned. Some 10 years back, we were together in a Train the Trainer program under the University of Kerala. And from those days, I know how good a motivational speaker he is. I mean, he can really transform an audience. And so you're all indeed fortunate to have him leading your institution. And I believe these are all students who are getting ready to become teachers, faculty members, right? So that is what Marty offers. My younger sister actually studied there, and she now teaches in Loyola School. So that is my association, one of the associations I have with the institution. So I'm very, very delighted to meet the people and the program that we have, Young Innovators Program. I'm sure you're all eager to know about it. What is it all about? And also the context, how this came about. So I'll get into a presentation. Let me share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if there are any interruptions or something, please alert me. I mean, like if the audio is not clear or something. Well, I just have an opener slide here on innovation. So because we have all heard this word being used quite a lot, innovation, and sometimes confused with invention. So it's important to understand that innovation is about bringing about transformation in society. Some invention, when you put it to use in such a way that it radically changes the life of the people, the way we live, that would qualify as an invention. It need not be an invention. You don't have to be an Edison overnight. See, Edison invented the bulb. But the real invention was when the LED came about, the innovation. We all know that the wheel has been around for so many years. It is one of the earliest inventions of man, the wheel. And the suitcase or the luggage, the heavy luggage used to be such a nightmare for people. We all have been, considering travel, long distance travel as a nightmare for so long. It never occurred to people to connect these two inventions and, to put a wheel on the luggage. And once we did that, and believe it or not, this happened barely 50 years back. And even then, it was considered like a women's way of carrying luggage, and everybody took it up much later. The whole journey experience transformed into something more enjoyable. That's a classic case of an innovation, putting a wheel on a luggage. Or the safety pin, such a small thing, but you know how difficult life was before that, and how easy it became afterwards. The zipper, for that matter. See the thing, the diagram on the top, which is a post-it note, also called a sticky note. This was accidentally discovered in the 70s when somebody was trying to invent a very strong glue adhesive, and then he quite accidentally happened on this minor glue, which could be reused again and again. And before long, it transformed the workplaces, believe it or not. The bread, for example, has been there since at least 2000 ages. We have references to that in the Bible. Now the bread, the sliced bread using a specialized machine for this purpose, was invented as recent as 1928. That's not even 100 years back. And then the sale, usage, consumption, distribution of bread increased thousandfold, you could easily say. So that was just to tell you about innovation. And innovation is not always about products, it is also about processes. Earlier, we used to go to railway station and book tickets, sometimes go with our bed and mattress because it could take a couple of days. And now we do it from our mobiles. At the fingertips, it's available. So the whole process transformed. Earlier, people would deliver a baby, go home, and after 5 years at the time of joining school, apply for a birth certificate. And then a long process, laborious process ensued. But later on, what happened? They installed a kiosk in the hospital. And even as the mother leaves with the baby, she takes home the birth certificate, a system innovation. So different kinds of innovations are there, which has really changed our lives for the better. Now, Young Innovators Program is about democratization of innovation. That is the motto. What it means is we want to take innovation to as many students as possible, to give them a real full life cycle experience of what is innovation. Now you can see that this is different from the corporatization of innovation that we see a lot nowadays. Suddenly, by hook or crook, people getting into the suddenly becoming rich overnight, and unicorns. I'm not saying being rich is not a bad thing, but you have to ensure that it's better through some enterprise which benefits people around you, or rather doesn't do harm to people around you. Now, this man in the middle, I pose it as a question, what is his name? And some people from previous generation remember, right? His name is Sam Pitroda. Sam Pitroda is the father of Indian telecom. He ushered in the telecom revolution in the 80s. A very brilliant thinker and entrepreneur. So he was, this government in the 2021 first decade instituted something called National Knowledge Mission, and Knowledge Commission, and Sam Pitroda was made the chairman of that, and it had brilliant intellectuals as part of it. So in 2014, and the government even declared 2010 to 20 as the decade of innovation. In 2014, he quit in fact, it became the National Innovation Council, and he quit the National Innovation Council, and very soon it dissolved. It became dysfunctional. However, in some of the states, the State Innovation Council stayed there in a slightly dormant mode. For example, Kerala, we had the Kerala State Innovation Council. Now, if you look at this man here, this is Dr. K. M. Abraham, a very brilliant engineer and later civil servant with a 35-year experience in the administrative service. So he retired as the Chief Secretary of Kerala in December 2017. So government decided to use his services a little more. So what they did is, along with him, Ajayan Pulikal, a very top world-class scientist in nano materials, S.D. Shibilal, founder of Infosys, and a few intellectuals like that. So they were all made into a committee and tasked with reviving the State Innovation Council. And that is how KDISC came about, Kerala Development and Innovation Strategic Council, was formed in 2018. Now the diagram on the right, if you see, that's what is called a triple helix model. So if you look at the Silicon Valley, you have all heard of Silicon Valley in the USA, from where Motorola, IBM, Apple, all those companies came about, this big global giants. How did that happen? That's because the American government and military funded their projects. So there is the very strong intervention by the government. Government in association with the universities and the industry collaborated, and it is at that confluence that the Silicon Valley happened. So why not recreate something like that here? Even in China, they replicated the model very successfully. So the three things have to come together: the industry and the academia, ably supported, funded by the government. So that is what is adopted as the model here. And we also took in elements of the National Science Foundation of the US, which was created with the purpose of churning out Nobel laureate. And they succeeded also to some extent, more than 100 Nobel laureates. But they got billions of dollar funding, which we don't have, but at a minor scale, yes. So the Young Innovators Program was started in 2018, like I said, and it's intended as a 1 to 3 year program. Once started, it can go up to 3 years. Now, KDISC, as the name suggests, is into innovation. It's the first port of call for innovation in the state. For example, in Bihar last year, somebody in what is called Jharkhand, entrepreneur developed diesel from algae, so that finally we could have diesel at a price of 60 rupees instead of 100 rupees. And the moment this news came out, the finance minister's office passes it on to KDISC, because KDISC is like the think tank advisory body. And then within 1 week, this innovator called Vishal Gupta is here, and he's studying Kerala's waterways. What can we do with this? Carrying out feasibility studies on the algae here. No, I just cited an example. So the beautiful projects have come out of such inquiries. Now, 2018, this started. In 2021, the government declared in the budget, Dr. Thomas Isaac's budget, that Kerala is going to be a knowledge economy. So what does that mean? Kerala has always been a knowledge society, but knowledge economy is when you create economic value out of all this knowledge. You kind of take some steps, strategize, and around that time, as you know, because of the post-COVID situation, the work patterns had been disrupted. So now we talk about work from home, work near home, freelancing, gig work. So all those things are very relevant, and that's going to be the working style of the future. So taking all these elements into consideration, and how can workers cooperatively be there? Freelance jobs can be made more secure, right? The problem with Uber or Swiggy, if you take, is they don't get any social security. The companies are depriving the people of those social security, and that has to be arrested. We need to bring in more, make all these things more attractive, so that people don't go just chasing after this few government jobs. See, in Kerala, we know how many people write the PSC, SSC, all those exams, where very few seats are there. What is the reason? Thinking of some kind of security in the future. So that is a myth, actually, which can be exploded by beefing up the private sector. In fact, the knowledge economy, they had a slogan. I'm sure you're all aware of that. 20 lakhs job opportunities to be created in 5 years. That is a slogan. And there's a very structured plan around that also. So, and all these jobs, make no mistake, all of these jobs are in the private sector. So for that, there are collaborations in place with Confederation of Indian Industry, LinkedIn, Monster, international companies like IWIN, British Council for the communication skills, etc. It's a whole program around it. There are three aspects. One is the mobilization of job seekers, then the demand aggregation, which is the job giving, and bridging the gap by means of skill programs. There are even skill loans envisaged, and specific programs for career break women who take a break from good jobs and never come back. We had something called Todil Arangathekku. And then for the marginalized community, the fisher folk, there is Todil Theeram. There is for the transgenders, for students in campus, there is campus to career connect. Then internships, earn while you learn, a whole lot of them. I won't get into detail. So all I'm saying is, in order to achieve this goal of 2 million jobs in 5 years, there are a few things to be done. Some strategies. I will mention 2 of them. When we go to a medical college, for example, most of us, I personally don't even think of it as a college or a place of learning. For me, it's a place of practice. It's a hospital. And around the clock, this practice is happening, research is happening also. Similarly, why can't our institutions of higher learning, especially the engineering colleges, polytechnics, or ITIs, or training institutes, why can't they also be industry hubs? Why should they be closed from evening 5 o'clock to morning 9 o'clock? So, conversion of higher education centers into centers of excellence, COE, that is number one. Number two is creating a culture of innovation. An ecosystem of innovation has to be built in the state. We don't have the innovative nature, mostly instinctively. Our pedagogical system, our education kind of stresses more. Let us face it. I'm addressing teachers, future teachers here, but I'm very I can very openly say that we need to kind of revisit our patterns. Are we focusing more on memory tests, rote learning? Recently, there was some talk about open book policy, right? Where your analytical skills and your critical skills will be assessed rather than your memory skills. The British system, some people say, was more of a sorting system. So we might be deviating from all that. We will need to innovate. We know that in real life, also in our careers, if you don't innovate, you will be left behind. So it's very, very important. So into that bigger picture, our Young Innovators program fits in. KDIS has got many innovation programs. For example, there is one for panchayats, for collecting the problems in panchayats, and college teachers examine that. This is, I'm sorry, the KILA, the Kerala Institute of Local Administration, looks into all those things, and that is called One Local Government, One Idea. And then something for small, medium, micro industries, making clusters of those industries, and their problems are examined and ideas explored by college teachers. This is in association with the Digital University. That's called One District, One Idea. Similarly, Young Innovators program targets students from the age of 13 to 37. In other words, high school, higher secondary, vocational higher secondary, and then all these colleges, arts, science, engineering, polytechnic, research institutions, university departments, and then you go to the medical, dental, nursing, pharma, paramedical, Siddha, Ayurveda, Homeo, also the ITIs, the industrial training institutes. So the whole gamut of them, including private, aided, unaided. So that is the spectrum of YAP. Now, YAP started in 2018, and when the first tranche entered, we had 17 winners. You can see that when I go to 2.0, that is YAP 2019, I am mentioning winning teams, because by that time it became a team event. You can't have one person alone, either in teams of 2 to 5 people. So that is how you submit an idea in YAP, which becomes a project which you execute with mentoring and funding support. In case you haven't got the idea what YAP is, this is a project that you do, and you are supported by that. YAP 3.0 has got 26 winning teams who are right now doing their projects after becoming state level winners. 4.0 is the one that started in 2021. We had a massive campaign, some 1 lakh people pre-registered, 9,404 teams submitted ideas. And what happened after the preliminary evaluation, 1,308 were selected, and they were asked to do certain activity called pitch deck preparation, stakeholder survey, etc. And eventually some 500 odd teams were identified for district evaluation, of which 410. In fact, on the 24th of last month and today. So in these 2 days, the evaluation happened. 410 teams underwent the evaluation. Now what we'll do, we will identify the district level winners from them and put them through some training. And again, they will aspire for the state. And that once they win the state, that is when they get into actual project execution. So I hope it gave a picture. The scheme of YAP 5.0, that is the latest YAP which started last year, it went through many discussions, several consultations with all the educational departments, DG, DC, DT, DME, DET, and also the university vice chancellors, all the 15 universities. We did a couple of rounds of discussions and decided to come up with a good scheme which kind of categorizes also. You put all the school kids under one category, the DC, DT, all those under category 2, 3. I will come to that slide soon. Eventually, it was approved by the Council of Ministers in November, and the GO was issued in December. See, if you look at the overall YAP in the past years, we have like 7,400 education institutions, schools and colleges registered in it. 21,000. Facilitator is like a chief faculty member in the college who kind of coordinates, and that can be up to 4 people in one's campus, including a student ambassador. So that's some 21,000 we have. So far, 22,000 teams of students, ideators, have undergone this YAP experience. We have some 150 mentors. Who are these mentors? We'll come to that. Domain partners are there, 60 institutions, and so much of money has been dispersed at various levels. Now, this is the whole ecosystem of YAP. We are supported in the... Everything is happening on an electronic platform. The idea submission, the evaluation, the mentor-mentee connect and discussion. So via IT platform, which is built by our partner ICT Academy of Kerala, Technopark based. Then CDIT hosts our servers. Then we have other Butomi. Butomi is the startup company which built the mobile app. The mobile app is available in 4 languages: English, Malayalam, Tamil, and Kannada. And for executing this, we have some implementation delivery partners. Delivery partners like GTech Mulan, that's a group of technology companies who focus on peer learning. And Idea Rocket, Chennai based. Then we have Kerala Startup Mission, who does evaluation support, and also the final connect is made with Startup Mission. Now, implementation, like I mentioned, all these educational authorities, the universities, etc. And then we have the domain partners, because as you can see, Child Development Center, Central Tuber Crops Research Institute, IMHANS, CPCRI, KFRI, all those things. Why are those domain institutions here? We'll come to that. This is the reason. At the core of YAP, so this is the difference. You have heard about Startup Mission, so many other companies which focus only on technology, or here the focus, the real center point is the domain. And what are those domains? Agriculture and plant sciences, animal husbandry and poultry sciences, assistive technologies and wearables, water conservation and drinking water, dairy and food technologies, problems of children, problems of the elderly, solid, liquid, hazardous waste disposal, modern medicine and biomedical technology, fisheries and ocean sciences, renewables, energy conservation. It's pretty much a large canvas. Into these 22 themes will fit most of the things around it. So it's all about real life problem solving for our state of Kerala. The issues concerning with that. We need to think about those, brainstorm about those, and come up with innovative solutions which will help address those problems. That is what is being insisted here. And for that, when people actually get into doing these projects after winning this state, see, I mentioned, no, I'll come to the categories. See, the categories have different kinds of evaluation. For example, the schools being such a large population, we have block panchayat level events also, followed by the district and then the state. Whereas if you take the medical, dental, nursing institutions, they directly have a zonal level in 5 zones of Kerala, followed by state. So they don't have any district or block level like that. Now, after winning this state, when people actually get to do these projects, who are the mentors who will assist them? Suppose I'm doing a fisheries related project, I might have a mentor or mentors coming from CMFRI, KUFOS, that is the Kerala University of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences, or the Fisheries Technology Center Institute of Fisheries Technology. 3 examples, or Kerala Veterinary and Animal Sciences University, Kerala Agricultural University. You know how those mapping happens. these are the categories I mentioned. I think yours is for the audience here. The relevant one is the category 2. So you all belong in that category. Now I have mentioned some department workshops, EOP, etc. I will explain what it is. So basically, you have a district level, then a state level event. After the preliminary, you have a district level and a state level selection. Now, department level problem statements means, see, we are all trying to give ideas to solve problems, right? But you could be talking to somebody, randomly bringing a problem, an idea for a problem, or taking from Google. What if you have something ready-made before you? These are the problem statements listed. You will not go and look into a 5-year plan of the agriculture department. Nobody bothers. So what we did is, in the month of February, KDISC took the initiative and did a department workshop, 47 departments in 14 districts. We did 2-day workshops. We brought the experts there, the functionaries, people, especially with the field level contacts. We brought them there and made them write problem statements with the assistance of our partner mechanism, the IEDC nodal officers, and all those support. What we did is we identified problem statements, and these problem statements, a lot of them need to be further curated. That is where the COP, the community of practices comes. But as of now, some certain number of them we have loaded into the YAP portal, so that people going into YAP ideation can take a look at that. I'll come to that soon. So this is your category, and these are the department workshops. Some images from what happened in February, and we came up with all these documents. Okay, so these are all guided by our district collectors, because district collectors are very much part of our what is called District Innovation Council. So they are the convener, and the district panchayat president is the president of those committees. Our program executives, I have, for example, program executives in all the districts. So those people locally handle all the matters related to YAP there. So this organizing committee conducted this. And what we got was 1,868 problem statements, of which some 866 are in good shape, means the others require little more iterative discussion with the departments before we can fine-tune them. So these problem statements are loaded into what is called shelf of projects, which is visible for the YAP ideator who goes into the system. And what do students in YAP get? Training on the concepts of innovation and entrepreneurship, like I mentioned, which means they are trained in 1, technology, 2, domain, 3, intellectual property protection. What is intellectual property? How do we protect that? And then they are trained on business plan formulation as well as prototyping. A team that wins at the district level gets 25,000 rupees, and at the final that they get 50,000 rupees. And apart from that comes the other funding as well as the mentoring support. You all have projects as part of your degree or postgraduate. This can be linked to IAP. Kerala Technological University, for example, that is under which all the engineering colleges come, they give activity points. Student requires certain activity points to complete his BTech course, and this YAP adds to that. So all I'm trying to say here is YAP need not be, or is not a extracurricular activity, it's a co-curricular activity. You must blend it with your regular education. Look around you, look for innovation, submit projects, take it forward, get noticed, and like Jojo sir mentioned earlier, be entrepreneurs. Or it could be, it could be a research project also, or a social enterprise. It's up to you. Funding is there after selection. You get government certifications at various levels. Foundation for career. Even if you don't become an entrepreneur, let's say I'm an employer. I have interviewed hundreds of people. Somebody sits in front of me and he has said he has done a Young Innovators program that shows an initiative, some out-of-the-box thinking, some interest to solve real-life problem skills, like my boss, that is our member secretary, tells in sessions also. Google and Amazon nowadays doesn't even look at whether you have a degree. They don't want your education. They are saying, what is your real-life problem-solving skills and critical thinking? That's what will take you places. It's a foundation for career, and over and above all this is a pride of contributing back to society. So YAP 5.0 started in December 15. It was inaugurated by the Honorable CM. And the category 1 for the schools, the initial rounds, all the panchayat, the block level events happened. So we did it in association with SSK, Samagra Shiksha Kerala, because they have the block resources, personnel, and we have done the first level. Now the district level is pending. Mobile app for YAP was launched only in December last year. Idea registration has started. The submission will be open, and in between we also did some summer schools on specific topics to generate that interest in domain, and that was done in association with genomics, with the Center for Bioinformatics and Computational Biology. And clean energy was done in Kochi, agroforestry with the help of KFRI in Pichi, Trichur, and big data with IC Force in Technopark. So it's not just technology. Technology is only an aid here. All these subjects are of importance. YAP 5, the whole thing, the projects we intend to complete by December. Some of the past winners, this is one team from Alapi. Excuse me. Excuse me for a second. Can I just take a break and come? Just a
Sure,
minute.
sir. Sure,
Yeah,
sir.
please.
No problem. Sir. Dear friends, I would like to share something meanwhile. And Kerala government is giving a few more weeks, I think, for the young innovators to brood over their ideas, incubate, and propose their ideas. And students can work as a team and develop new ideas. Now, the $1 million business that is going to develop in the world is no doubt training. Training is the most important business that is going to grow. So really fast, exponentially in the coming future. Now, and being teachers, student teachers, and youngsters, if some of you are aspiring for training careers, training ideas, maybe life skill training, maybe language training, maybe training in cooking, and there are courses on even driving, how to drive Enfield Bullet. There are courses online. uh, we can pay and do those courses. So these things are the things on the anvil, and future has got plenty of things for people who are interested in innovation and creativity. Welcome back, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So sorry about that. Now we are just showing a few students here. Very interestingly, they come from three places. Anup is from SD College, and Arya is from Marivanus and Trivandrum, and Hari Krishna is from Kollam. So this is these friends collaborated, and the project they did was to convert water hyacinth, that is Kolavara, which is a major menace in Kerala's water bodies, converting that into value-added products. And a lot of interesting things they are coming up with. The Aramula boat race mementos were given based on material that they created, and they have been summoned by the central ministry also for discussions. In fact, he started a startup company even while the YAP project was going on. He started his this thing. What is the name? I think I kind of forgot the name. Now, what they're holding in their hand is a privilege card given by the Kerala Startup Mission. So once the YAP project ends, we does exit workshop along with our partner Startup Mission, and it is attended often by the Kerala Technology University Vice Chancellor, Startup Mission CEO, and a set of panelists who talk to them. Because the next thing to do is to make a connect to some. So startup absorbs them into what is called a fail fast or succeed, FFS program, which is like a 3-month program. So they're given all kind of exposure, and this card that you're holding is for life. It's a privilege card. and the other, angel investor connect and exposure to international possibilities happens from the side of startup. Because as you know, Startup Mission also has an agenda. They want to have like 10,000 startup companies in 5 years. So they're also more happy to take these projects forward. Now, there are interesting projects. I don't know if I have the time to talk about all of them. What we have seen in YAP. There were a group of school students from 12th standard in Kochi. So they came up with a cooking vessel. So normal cooking vessel has this convex shape. So they thought, why don't we reverse the shape, make it like concave, so that heat losses can be reduced. It's a very, very, very fresh thinking. We don't want to ridicule. Okay, kids are coming with some stupid. There is no such thing as a stupid idea. And then they fabricate other things also to support this vessel, to hold it in place. And their mentoring is given by no less than professors from NIT Kozhikode. So that is how it goes. And the fabrication support, when it comes to that part, that is given by Fab Lab, which is again part of the Startup Mission. So very good support, and the funding also. And another project, one guy in Thrissur. So he sensing that drug abuse is rampant among the youth, and it's a very, very, very prevalent menace, as we know. So what he did is marijuana detector. How to detect the breath of a person who has consumed or inhaled marijuana. It's all good in concept, in theory. In fact, it became a YAP winner. But when it comes to actually testing this material, he needs something beyond his control, capacity. So that is where KDISC and such mechanisms can help. So we got Rajiv Gandhi Center for Biotechnology to examine this. And they said, we can do all the testing and everything. We have the facility, chromatography, all those things. However, we cannot procure or possess marijuana. Okay. So we write next to the Excise Commissioner. In fact, we first went the Narcotics Control Bureau route and then realized that those were not the party. So we write to it's still an open case, but we hope to get that candidate. His name is Manu Joseph. Incidentally, he's from Thrissur. We would really like to see that project take wings, because it is solving a real need of society, or trying to mitigate that problem. Another guy had geopolymer concrete as his innovative product in YAP. He's a civil engineering student, of course. Now, the reason I mentioned this is this geopolymer is not something that is completely his finding. If you take a place like Australia, the entire Brisbane airport is built on this material. This is a heat-saving substance. But in the Kerala context, this is very novel. So that is very important for us in the Kerala context. So once this project was done, now what we are trying to do is to try help him use that material in a portion of KIFBI's work. This KIFBI has a lot of construction projects. So we got the project examiner to buy into the idea of trying this out in one stretch of land where they're building a road. These are things somebody came up with aero water maker. The humidity of the air, you can condense it and create 20 liters of water daily. It was first installed in the revenue division office in Palakkad. This guy comes from Palakkad, by the way. But certain things affect the progression of these projects. When departmental bureaucrats change, also they could put some conditions, and sometimes it can hinder. So what we thought is we will try operating that model in our office. That's going to happen soon in our KDISC headquarters building in Vizag, which, by the way, is also a showcase of innovation, because this is Kerala's first public building working on 48-volt DC. Solar panels are there. There are water curtains to reduce the AC usage. And now we installed a vertical axis wind turbine also on the terrace, so that the wind energy can be harnessed. It's quite a attraction to see all these things in operation. And our floors we have showcase the achievements, or rather, pictures of scientists, innovators like Anna Mani, Janaki Amar, Mahalanobis, J.C. Bose, Laurie Baker, etc. So we like to live innovation. Innovation is something that we can't quite escape from. In fact, for sustainable development for the state, there is no other option but to innovate. I think I'm now on the slide which says that there are incentives for supporting YAP also. These institutions which present the most number of ideas in YAP gets a prize at the state level. There are prizes for school, for college, and for university. The college one, for instance, for last year was won by St. Kitts Kottayam. So they got a prize of 1 lakh rupee. And the facilitator of the institution which submits maximum idea at the state level, he also gets 50,000, etc. And there is second and third prize also. The only condition is this idea has to clear the preliminary number of ideas which cleared the preliminary from a particular institution. That is important. So these are the winners which we gave, some of the winners prizes we gave away at the Innovation Day in March this year. Coming back again to the screen, you have the steps. It's a simple 5-step process registering an idea in YAP. First, your institution should be registered. And a student from a registered institution will do something called pre-registration, upon which he'll get an OTP, and then he goes into ideator registration, and then your photo you will have to upload your photo, give your Aadhaar card details, etc. That kind of validation is there. Then you form the group along with 1 or 4 or 2, 3 people. You form a group. And this group undergoes what is called voice of stakeholder. Very important, because we want to drive home the point about the importance of having the end user in mind. It's a human-centric approach. It's called design thinking. Simply put, if I am creating, let's say, in our house, I'm building this house with the kitchen, and there are cabinets, and the person, let's say myself or my spouse or mother or father, whoever is using this kitchen most, is having short height. It's not a very tall person. And then I build all these cabinets for the flour and chili powder and everything. If I put the cabinet at a height, now that shows a lack of design thinking. I must have in mind who is going to use this and put it at a lower height, because that person is short fellow. I hope I conveyed the idea. We must always have the end user in mind. And agriculture, if I am saying this is a problem in agriculture, I will create this, suggest this idea for that. I must first have the sense to talk to the people who are going to be benefited by it, either a farmer or the person who consumes agricultural produce, or agricultural scientist, engineer, or anybody involved with that, agriculturist. It's better to get that 360-degree feedback from them before or during the process of ideating. Then the idea gets refined and it becomes more sensible. Otherwise, it could end up as useless also. So that is the whole voice of stakeholder training. 18-minute video module, at the end of which there's a quiz. You have to get 7 points out of 10. And immediately you will get a digital certificate also, saying that you have passed this module. And you do a stakeholder survey, because see, any problem, there will be a problem canvas. What is this problem? Summary. What is the root cause of the problem? Now, the first question you ask and the reply you get, why, is never the root cause. You need to, as an international practice, you need to ask 5 whys. Why, then again 1 why, like that. Then you get to the root cause of the problem. Is there any current alternative? What is the problem with that alternative? Maybe it is economically not feasible, it is very expensive. Or like that, some few questions around it are asked, and you upload the stakeholder survey either as a document or something. This is all part of the process. And then you submit your idea. You click the submit button and that's it. You can even do it through the mobile. and the evaluation will be done, and you will be notified about the status. If you are going to the next level, also it will be told you what you need to do. You will be reached out through WhatsApp or email ID, etc. And the idea has to be approved by the head of the institution. The principal of the school or college will have to approve that idea. That's also an electronic process. So these are things we insist on so that there is some accountability. And everything is very secure. We do it in secure platforms. And yeah, but the diagram you see here shows some of our mentors. I have been talking about mentors, right? People who guide our students and give them advice, and these people are doing it for free. They are voluntarily giving because it is like their pride of giving back to society. If I am a very big expert in agriculture or medicine, I am only too happy to share my knowledge with the younger generation and everybody. So that is what these, some of these scientists and faculty you see here from Swaminathan Research Institute, Wayanad, Medical College, Vice Principal from Thrissur Medical College. Another is the head of psychiatric nursing at IMHANS. You have CPCRA person, etc. So we gave them KDISC sponsored a 3-day residential training at Indian Institute of Management, Kozhikode, and that was on design thinking. Okay, very, very, very interesting topic done by experts. And similarly, we had done a similar batch 3 years ago, and we are going to offer one more batch of 50 of our mentors for this training, because we want them also to get exposed to various levels of knowledge so that it can be incorporated in their mentoring. Some of the ideas, examples I've cited here. See, we had a nursing student from Malappuram. She had this project called, there is no product or anything in this. This is a research project. It's a prevention of sexual abuse of children using a multi-interventional package. That was what her project was. And it so happened she completed her nursing and got job with the government as a staff nurse and wanted to continue this project. So that's also possible. We got all the no objection from the institute and also from the letter we wrote to the DMO. And now she is very much on track and got the funding and doing the project. So that's also possible because education, people leave schools. Now students leave schools, teachers stay there. But a device for sterilization, so this comes under the theme of agriculture. Sterilization of fruits and vegetable. So this is the problem, this is the solution. Third year students of AKG Cooperative Institute of Health Sciences, and their mentoring is from CPCRA scientists, Kasaragod CPCRA, Central Plantation Crops Research Institute. Because of the nature of the project, we assigned that. Herbal toothpaste for prevention, so problem of children endangered. This is something very relevant. See, a lot of these things are very relevant to us. I'm sure none can say that, okay, waste management has got nothing to do with me. Can any of us say that? So we always think, is there a better way to see? If you look around us, problems of elderly, for example, let me cite my example. My father is an aged man, and some months back he had a fall, and he recovered and everything, back to normal now. But while putting on his shirt, wearing his shirt, he said, look, I have a difficulty in putting the buttons. This buttons is a complicated thing. He was taking it for granted for so many years. Now that fall or some cognition, some issue is creating him to face difficulty. So I assisted him. But is there a solution for that? What about a shirt with the magnetic buttons, which you can just press instead of a conventional button to look very okay also, right? There are a lot of such aged solutions for the elderly that, institutions like Alive are coming up. There's Alive in Pudirakonam, and they have villas. If you go there, there are alerts for these people, and railings are a feature of that. Especially the bathrooms will have lot of railings. So when we look around us and problems in our family itself, I won't say problems, these are realities. There itself, we might want to innovate. It doesn't matter what subject we are studying or what is our specialization. There is scope for innovation as long as you have an innovative mind. So that culture of innovation is there. I still remember the story about Archimedes, the DG, the prior one. I mean, the Jeevan Babu AS, who was the director of general education. He was once narrating a story that everybody talks about Archimedes getting this eureka moment and running from the bathtub, right? It is as if he got it out of the blue. So not like that. Archimedes got the eureka moment only because he was immersed in all that thoughts of chemistry and physics and life around him. So then this thing happened. So you need to have this fertile mind in which the ideas can sprout. And YAP club, I am very happy to hear about the science club that you mentioned. You are all members of that. So as an agenda, if you can have some connect with all the community around you, like maybe making visits, understanding the problems of agriculture or animal husbandry, and then sitting in groups, brainstorming, thinking what can be done, or consulting your faculty or consulting your peer groups, then all these things are possible. The ideas and idea formation should happen organically. See, this is my message that let's all have an innovation mindset and think of solutions around us, because it's required at multiple levels, and it will help your professional advancement also. And you can become entrepreneurs. There's no limit to that. Some school student recently came up with a means of delivering medicines to remote locations, tribal locations, using drone technology. Those are the kind of things that hugely will benefit our society. And technology is also nothing to be afraid of. See, suppose I am not a technically trained person, I can always collaborate with someone with that field and form a team and do that. Or even sticking within our subject, whether it is humanities or arts or music, you can always come up with innovative things. If you go to this channel called KDisc Official in YouTube, you can see some videos of the past winners. It's called Hall of Fame. Some 3-minute, 2-minute videos of they will be describing what they did in the projects. So I welcome you to go visit that also. And surely you know a lot of stories. I am sure your circles, because you are a science group, you must have been exposed to what Chekuti dolls, for example. That is a very good from disaster, how that survival came about, and all those clothes that were damaged in the floods in the godown were suddenly transformed into a cloth doll called Chekuti, which became a symbol of our resurgence, our will to survive. And this is what innovation is all about. The website is yap.kerala.gov.in, and in contact us, because you are all in Trivandrum, I believe you will have Nipun Raj as the member for KDisc person for any clarifications, technical or otherwise. Or for the other districts also, you can see the names in the contact us. Yeah, that's all about the presentation. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask that. I'll be happy to answer.
Sir, since we are from education field, many of us are from education field. There is great scope for educational toys, sir.
Yes.
Small toys which have got educational significance.
Sure. Yeah, a lot of innovative ways of teaching and activities also you can think of, come about. Kids must be having, the students must be having most of this. The problem is even for adults and students and young people, they have ideas, but don't know how to make it into a business plan or product or enterprise. So that is where all this hand holding is required. Somebody needs to guide them, and if KDISC or associated partners can do that, that is how this will become a successful project. And everybody's effort. Teachers have a very big role to. When even as we say this is a students program, it's only with the teachers' intervention and the guidance this can happen in a very good way, meaningful way.
Sir, to an existing product, we can add something and make a new idea, like
Yes,
what
yes.
you mentioned about the briefcase having
Yeah,
wheels.
innovation. So innovation is you don't have to invent anything new. That is a different way of looking at things, like slight out of the box thinking also required. And otherwise, imagine converting that damaged cloth into this Chekuti doll. What Lakshmi and all those entrepreneurs did. It's a great example from Kerala. Parvati UV has raised a hand. So
Thank you, sir, for the brilliant talk, and it's really great that you have interacted in English, because
yeah.
some of the participants are from Tamil Nadu.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess so, because all the introductions and previous talkers were talking in English. So
Yes.
yeah, and everybody understands English also. No problem. And another thing is, this is an ongoing program, as you know. Now YAP 5.0 is there, and it has an end date of idea submission end date of July 7 as of now. However, the next edition will start in August. So this will be there throughout. So people have multiple chances of submitting ideas at their leisure. They can do.
Then shall we move forward, sir?
Yeah. Did Parvati UV had a question, or?
Parvati?
Sir, no, sir.
Yeah. That's okay. So yeah, already we are. I think we took a little more than an hour.
No problem, sir.
Any questions? You can feel free to reach out to us anytime. Yeah.
So I have your number. I will share your number also, sir.
Definitely.
So feedback form is provided in the chat. Kindly fill the feedback form. So please move forward. Hurry up.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So we have people from other districts also. Okay. From many places. Okay. I saw Palakkad here. Okay.
Thank you very much, Biju sir, for your wonderful, informative, valuable words that you shared, and also to make the session so much fruitful. So we are moving on to the end of our session. I welcome Devika for the word of thanks.
Good evening. I am here before you with a deep sense of gratitude and appreciation as we conclude this inspiring session on young innovators. On behalf of our organization and the entire audience, I would like to express our heartfelt thanks to our esteemed speaker, Sri Biju Parameswaran sir, for enlightening us with such a thought-provoking discussion. We have been fortunate to witness a captivating presentation that shed light on remarkable achievements and potential of young innovators in our society. Biju sir skillfully conveyed the message that innovation knows no boundaries and can emerge from any corner of the world. It emphasized how the power of youth, combined with passion and creativity, can bring about significant changes and solve complex problems. We are immensely grateful for the valuable insights shared by Biju sir. Furthermore, I would like to express my heartfelt appreciation to each and every one of you present here today, especially Shruti, who did the beautiful prayer at the beginning, then Arya, who did the anchoring role in the session. Thank you, Shruti. Thank you, Arya. Next, Malavika, who delivered the welcome speech. Thank you, Malavika. Next, Dr. Joju John sir, our beloved principal who gave immense support to all of us. Thank you, sir. Then I would like to thank our mentor in charge of Popular Science Club, Dr. Neena ma'am, for her complete support. Thank you, Neena ma'am. Then I would like to thank Hansi ma'am for giving the complete technical support for our session. Finally, I thanking Betsy Bose who prepared the poster for our today's program. Thank you, Betsy. Let's last but not least, I extend my sincere gratitude to the organizing committee, the club members, and all the individuals who worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make this talk possible. Your dedication and commitment to promoting knowledge and innovation are truly commendable. In conclusion, let us carry the spirit of this talk on young innovators within us and may it inspire us to be more open minded, to embrace creativity, and to recognize and celebrate the immense potential that lies within the young generation. Thank you once again to Sri Biju Parameswaran sir, our audience, and everyone involved. Together, let us continue to foster a culture of innovation and create a bright future of our young innovators. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Devika. And we have national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you, Biju sir.
Thank you for all this wonderful opportunity,
Thank you, sir.
and see you all soon.
Thank you, Nibin sir. Sir, we'll